Before the sun rises on 2026, there lies a choice not whispered in the winds, but written in the chambers of your own heart. It is the choice to rise higher than you have ever dared, to polish the corners of your soul that have been dulled by doubt, and to embrace the power that has always been yours. Today, I will speak to you about 8 truths, 8 paths of growth, 8 invitations to become the person you were meant to be. Listen closely, for change does not wait, and time, my friends, does not linger. Before you can move mountains, you must first know the terrain within yourself. Self-awareness is not a fleeting glance in the mirror. It is a gentle, unwavering gaze into the quiet corners of your mind and soul. It is understanding why your heart trembles at certain words, why old fears resurface when you least expect them, and why your spirit sometimes refuses to rise even when your body pushes forward. To be aware of yourself is to carry a lantern in the dark corridors of your own being, to see the patterns that have guided your steps, and to recognize the habits that have bound you in invisible chains. When you embrace this awareness, you stop blaming the world, the circumstances, or the people around you, and you begin to claim the truth of who you are. It is the first step to freedom, because freedom does not come from changing the world outside. It comes from understanding and transforming the world inside. Self-awareness asks for honesty, the kind that is tender yet firm. It asks that you confront your failures without shame, that you acknowledge your fears without retreating, and that you celebrate your victories without arrogance. It whispers to you in moments of solitude, reminding you that every thought you nurture and every emotion you feed shapes the life you are building. It teaches patience, for you cannot rush the discovery of yourself. It teaches humility, for every step forward is illuminated by the lessons of the steps behind. And it teaches courage, for there is bravery in looking at yourself and saying, I will not hide, I will not deny, I will rise. To improve this part of yourself before 2026 is to commit to listening more than you speak, to observing more than you judge, and to reflecting more than you react. It is to recognize the whispers of doubt and the echoes of past mistakes, and yet choose to move with intention and grace. Self-awareness is the soil from which every other growth sprouts. Without it, discipline falters, gratitude feels hollow, and relationships stumble. With it, every challenge becomes a teacher, every failure a guidepost, and every day an opportunity to align your actions with the truth of your spirit. So, I invite you to pause, to breathe, and to turn inward. Ask yourself the questions you have avoided. Watch the patterns you have ignored. Feel the emotions you have buried. And as you do, remember that this awareness is not a punishment nor a burden. It is a gift. It is the key that unlocks doors you have not dared to open, a compass that points toward the life you were always meant to lead, and the quiet, steady heartbeat of the person you are becoming. To know yourself is to be free, and to be free is to step into 2026 with your head high, your heart open, and your soul unshackled. Discipline is the quiet song of your soul reminding you that dreams, no matter how bright, cannot soar without wings of consistent action. It is not harsh or demanding. It is gentle yet relentless, guiding you to rise each day, even when the world whispers that you should rest, even when your heart quivers at the weight of effort. Discipline is the bridge that carries your aspirations across the turbulent waters of doubt and fear. It does not ask for perfection, but it asks for presence, for the willingness to show up, to honor the commitments you have made to yourself, and to keep moving forward, even when the path seems shrouded in mist. Without it, hope remains a distant light on the horizon, flickering but never fully within reach. With it, each step, no matter how small, builds the foundation of your becoming. To cultivate discipline is to understand that success is not a single leap, but a collection of faithful steps taken day after day. It is waking before the world stirs, whispering to yourself that your time is precious, and that every choice you make echoes into the future you are shaping. Discipline asks you to resist the lure of shortcuts and instant gratification, to honor the process even when it demands patience and persistence. It is the voice that says, do it again and again and again, not as punishment, but as practice, as a tender rehearsal for the life you are determined to live. It is the recognition that talent alone is not enough, that passion alone cannot carry you through storms, and that only the steady rhythm of effort can transform dreams into reality. This bridge of discipline extends into every corner of your life. It is found in the quiet hours spent learning, in the courage to complete what you started, in the integrity to follow through when no one is watching. It shapes your mind, training it to focus on what matters, and tempers your spirit, teaching resilience in the face of disappointment. Discipline is not a cage, as many fear, but a set of wings that allow your ambition to take flight. It turns ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes, and it turns intentions into a life lived fully with purpose and pride. To walk this bridge before 2026 is to embrace discomfort as a companion, not an enemy. It is to honor the sweat, the early mornings, and the long nights as sacred investments in your own becoming. It is to remind yourself that every small choice to persist, every quiet moment of focus, every refusal to abandon what you have begun is a brick in the bridge that leads you to the life you envision. Discipline will challenge you, it will test you, and at times it will feel heavier than your courage can carry. Yet, in the end, it will lift you higher than mere desire ever could. It is the heartbeat of growth, the pulse of purpose, and the proof that the life you dream of is not a fantasy. It is a promise waiting for your commitment. Health is not merely the absence of sickness, it is the presence of vitality, the quiet hum of energy that allows you to greet each day with strength and purpose. It is the foundation upon which all dreams are built, the unseen pillar that holds up the grandeur of your aspirations. Without it, even the brightest vision falters, and even the strongest will find itself weary and defeated. To honor your health is to honor your life, to recognize that your body is not a vessel to be neglected, but a sacred temple that houses your spirit. Physical well-being is the first language of care, the expression of love for oneself that says, I am worthy of nourishment, movement, and rest. It is in the rhythm of your heartbeat, the clarity of your mind, and the steadiness of your breath that the true wealth of life is revealed. Yet health is more than the body, it is the sanctuary of your mind. Mental well-being is the light that guides you through darkness, the steady hand that steadies you when storms rage around you. It is the ability to confront thoughts that scare you, to wrestle with doubts that whisper lies, and to emerge on the other side with resilience and clarity. To cultivate mental health is to give yourself permission to pause, to reflect, to step back from the chaos of a world that demands more than you often have to give. It is to feed your mind with wisdom, to protect it from unnecessary negativity, and to recognize that clarity is born from care, not from constant action. The wealth of a clear mind cannot be measured in gold or silver. It is measured in peace, in focus, and in the capacity to make choices that honor your path. Emotional health completes this trinity of wealth, the tender soil in which your soul takes root. It is the courage to feel deeply, the grace to forgive freely, and the strength to release what no longer serves you. Emotional health teaches you to honor your joys without guilt, to navigate sorrow without despair, and to hold love in your heart without fear. It is in acknowledging your emotions that you gain power, for to deny them is to deny a part of your very self. When your emotional self is nurtured, relationships flourish, ambitions grow, and your spirit moves with a vibrancy that cannot be faked or borrowed from another. To improve your health before 2026 is to recognize that every meal you eat, every hour of sleep you claim, every thought you nurture, and every emotion you tend is an investment in your freedom. It is to understand that wealth is not counted in possessions, but in the strength to rise each morning, to face challenges with courage, and to live fully without the chains of illness or exhaustion. The body, the mind, and the heart are treasures entrusted to you, and in caring for them, you honor the very life you have been given. True wealth is not found in gold or accolades. It is found in the energy to dream, the clarity to act, and the resilience to keep walking no matter how long the path. Health, my friends, is your inheritance, and to claim it is to step into the fullness of yourself. Your voice is more than the sound that escapes your lips. It is the echo of your spirit, the messenger of your truth, and the instrument through which your soul asserts its presence in the world. It is not only the words you speak, but the courage you summon when the world seems indifferent, the vulnerability you embrace when silence feels safer, and the conviction that says, I exist and I will be heard. Too often we hide our voices, muffled by fear of judgment, by doubt, by the weight of those who say our words are too small or too bold. But the truth is, every voice carries a spark of power, a flame that can ignite hope, awaken courage, and stir hearts into action. To speak, even when trembling, is to honor the life within you and to remind others that their voices too are precious and necessary. Your voice matters because it shapes the world around you in ways both seen and unseen. A word spoken with sincerity can heal a wounded heart, mend a fractured relationship, or inspire someone to rise when they feel defeated. Silence, though comfortable, is a missed opportunity to shift the tides of injustice, to comfort the broken, or to plant seeds of change in fertile hearts. Your voice carries your story, your experiences, your struggles, and your triumphs. And through it, you remind the world that every life matters, that every journey is valuable, and that courage, though fragile at first, grows stronger each time it is spoken aloud. To embrace your voice is to embrace authenticity, to speak not just what is expected, but what is real. It is to refuse the masks that society asks you to wear and to trust that the truth you carry is worthy of attention. Your voice may shake, your words may falter, the audience may not always understand you, yet, even in uncertainty, your act of speaking affirms your presence and asserts your right to exist fully. There is power in the simple declaration that you matter, that your perspective matters, and that your truth deserves space in the world. Each time you use your voice with intention, you give permission to others to do the same, creating ripples of bravery that extend far beyond your own reach. To honor this before 2026 is to commit to honesty in speech, to kindness in tone, and to clarity in purpose. It is to speak when it is easier to stay silent, to share wisdom when the world seems deaf, and to voice compassion when anger or fear might tempt you to retreat. Your words become instruments of change, your sentences become bridges of understanding, and your expression becomes a beacon of courage. Remember, the world has always needed voices that are brave enough to break through the noise, soft enough to listen, and strong enough to persist. Let your voice rise, unafraid and unwavering, for in doing so, you do not only transform yourself, you inspire a chorus of voices to rise with you, and together, you carry the power to shape a future that is just, compassionate, and alive with possibility. The people we choose to surround ourselves with are not just companions along the journey of life, they are the architects of our destiny. Each friendship, each bond, each encounter leaves an imprint upon our spirit, shaping the way we think, feel, and move through the world. Relationships are mirrors, reflecting back both our light and our shadow, teaching us patience, compassion, and resilience. They can lift us to heights we never imagined, or they can tether us to despair if we allow negativity to take root. To understand the power of connection is to understand that the hearts you keep close are the hands that will help guide you across the uncertain terrain of tomorrow. When we surround ourselves with those who uplift, challenge, and encourage, we begin to see the world differently. Their belief in our potential becomes a quiet strength within us, a reminder that we are capable of more than our doubts suggest. The laughter shared, the wisdom exchanged, the moments of honest reflection, all of these are investments in our growth, turning ordinary days into extraordinary lessons. Conversely, when we linger among those who drain, criticize, or diminish our spirit, we risk losing ourselves in a fog of insecurity and stagnation. The people around us can either plant seeds of courage or cultivate weeds of fear. The choice of whom we allow close is, therefore, one of the most profound decisions we make in shaping the trajectory of our lives. To improve this aspect of ourselves before 2026 is to examine our relationships with courage and clarity. It is to honor those who nurture our spirit and gracefully release those who no longer contribute to our growth. This is not a call to abandon love or kindness, but to recognize that true care sometimes means creating space where toxicity once resided. Each interaction becomes an opportunity for reflection. Does this relationship lift me, or does it weigh me down? Does it inspire me to be better, or does it keep me trapped in patterns I am ready to leave behind? To answer these questions honestly is to reclaim control over the energy we allow to shape our lives. Healthy relationships demand attention, empathy, and reciprocity. They are built on trust, nourished with communication, and maintained with consistency. They require us to listen deeply, forgive freely, and hold space for growth, not only in others, but in ourselves. When cultivated with intention, relationships become powerful engines of transformation. They remind us that we are not meant to walk the path of life alone, that collaboration and connection are not weaknesses, but strengths that allow us to achieve far more than we could ever do in isolation. They teach us that our destiny is not just shaped by ambition, but by the hands, hearts, and minds we choose to journey alongside. So, before 2026, look closely at the circle that surrounds you. Nurture those who bring light, love, and courage into your life. Release, with gratitude and grace, those who drain your spirit. Understand that the quality of your relationships directly shapes the quality of your days, the magnitude of your dreams, and the depth of your joy. In honoring this truth, you align your destiny not only with your own potential, but with the collective strength of those who lift you, reminding you that life is richest when shared, hearts are strongest when connected, and the future is brightest when built together.